Hello all, I am Dr. Konkona Ghoshal. I taught at UCLA as a lecturer in Life Sciences Core Education in spring 2020. I did my teaching internship as an Aspire to Teach Fellow from UCLA last year. I am also a Scientific Teaching Fellow of Summer Institute on Scientific Teaching. Today, I'm going to talk about the importance and strategies of creating and nurturing an online community at the time of COVID-19. I have divided my talk into two main sections. The first section will deal with the importance, definition, foundation, and a few common examples of community. The second part consists of the importance of the online community during COVID-19, challenges that we are facing while building an online community, and finally, steps to create and nurture an online community. Let me first talk about the importance of building a community. In 1943, Abraham Maslow first shared the concept of a hierarchy of human needs. Belonging sits at the third tier from the bottom. Recent research has shown that belonging that affects not just our emotional well-being, but our physical well-being too. So, in 2017, Radha Agarwal, a highly recognized entrepreneur, the co-founder of Daybreaker and Things and Live It Up, updated Maslow's hierarchy and placed belonging with the basic human needs with the same category as food, water, shelter. She also updated his hierarchy altogether to reflect our current belief systems and new research findings. We can see here that the community is a vital ingredient at the every stage. In the 21st century, we all feel and know without community support, it's nearly impossible to move up the hierarchy. Professor Noam Spencer, the author of the novel and good psychologist, wrote, human beings fundamentally are distinctly, spectacularly social. Lonely and isolated, we cannot survive, let alone thrive. In Radha Agarwal's book, she defines belonging as a feeling of deep relatedness and acceptance, a feeling of I would rather be here than anywhere else. Then she defines community as a group of three or more people with whom you share similar values and interests and where you experience a sense of belonging. Once we have clarity about our interests, we can go out and create our dream community. Typically, we do it in the same way as we do while choosing our careers. We select our careers for which we are best fit by self-assessment of ourselves based on our values, interests, and abilities or skills. So, knowing your VIA or VIS, which is value, interest, and skills. So, here interest is things we like to do. And then values, like what do you care for? And abilities or skills, things we do well. So, altogether, it's called VIA or VIS. So knowing your VIA or VIS is essential to finding and creating your dream community. Here, I am giving you a few common examples of community. teaching and learning institutes, fitness clubs, music concerts, or any concerts, professional meetings and conferences, book clubs, other personal or professional gatherings. To summarize, a community is an inclusive space where every member of the community can have a sense of belonging. Here, a group of people with shared learning goals are responsible for each other's learning. In times of a pandemic where there is uncertainty and fear, the community has proven to be more critical than ever. However, as physical distancing measures kicks in all around the globe, it is hard to maintain an in-person or offline community. But we still need to rely on those in our immediate circle for support, guidance, reliable information, solidarity, and empathy. And that can be provided in an online environment. However, our community members may face several challenges during a community meet online. The challenges sometimes are interdependent. Challenge 1: computer and other technological gadgets may not be available to all community members during the community meetup. Internet connection may disrupt the meeting. Challenge 2: in this pandemic, almost all the family members are at home and trying to maintain their own routine. So, a quiet space may not be available all the time. Challenge 3: we are not allowed for face-to-face connection in most cases now. So, nonverbal cues and body languages of the members are also missing, and it becomes harder to build deep relationships. Challenge 4: community members feel distressed in different aspects of their lives, and they may not participate at their best every time they join the community. Sometimes spending too many hours on Zoom can create Zoom fatigue. Challenge 5: as we are pretty new to this new normal lifestyle, we lack ideas with online engagement. And the last challenge, but not the least, challenge 6, is we all know content is one of the most valued aspects of a community meeting. However, so many unprecedented incidents are happening in the world right now. It's hard to select the content to share in a meeting. Okay, let's discuss steps to build a successful online community. To build a community, we can follow 4 steps. These steps are adapted from the Brainwave website. The type of community that best suits your needs will depend partly on what your goals for the community are. So this will be our first step to build a successful community. Choosing the right community platform is our second step. There are several platforms to select from, like a social media, like Facebook page and our group, Twitter page, virtual meeting platform like Zoom, a website or blog, channel-based messaging platform like Slack, an online forum, a mixture of one or more of the above. For example, as a teacher, we use several platforms that allow students to collaborate and share ideas asynchronously. That is like Slack, Piazza, Google Docs, and for synchronous collaboration, we use the Zoom. In order to successfully develop an online community, our third step is to provide valuable contents. What that does mean? It means in order to successfully develop an online community with an engaged and active membership base, it's important to provide content that adds value to the user experience. Step 4 is fostering two-way conversation between yourself and other users, rather than stepping back and acting as an observer only. Your audience actually wants to feel heard, seen, and valued. So at this point, we learned about the 4 steps to build a thriving community. Now, once you have your community, we want to maintain it. Let me quote Ms. Agarwal here. According to her, a community, like a garden, needs consistent, nurturing, and loving attention. Here, I'm going to discuss 7 ways of nurturing your online community. These 7 ways are adapted from an article published in Forbes Journal this year in February. Sarah Dehan, founder of Catalyst, a community strategy agency specializing in online and offline community design, provides these 7 ways to show your online community some love. I also added some examples from my online community experience. The first way is to make people feel celebrated. Dehan says people love to be recognized and to recognize others. To achieve this, you can publish monthly newsletter and announce members' achievement at the beginning of the meeting. The second way is to show gratitude and exercise humility. Besides shout outs to individual members, you can also express gratitude to the community as a whole. Make them feel like they are part of something big. Be humble in your relationship. Regularly acknowledge that the community is a group effort. Recognize top contributors and invite members to take on leadership roles. So when members feel more ownership, they feel personally empowered by this community, which translates to greater loyalty and trust. The third way is to foster empowerment, positivity, and authenticity. One exceptional way to give back to your community is to create an online space where people can be vulnerable and supportive. You can lead by example, like which is a great way to relate to your members and invite others to reciprocate. For example, in class, we have regular office hours through Zoom to discuss our students' challenges and to get their open feedback about the class. We can also use Google Documents as the platform for asynchronous discussion. The fourth way is to create a balanced and accepting social container where the members feel welcomed, seen, and accepted. Write guidelines and moderate with thoughtful consideration of the member's experience. When thinking about which language and posts aren't okay, ask yourself first if you are protecting the group's integrity or silencing members who can provide thought diversity. Next, you can implement a feedback mechanism so that members have a safe way to voice concerns about the social container. For example, in class, we try to make an inclusive environment. We offer alternative ways for students to participate by becoming flexible. We protect our students' privacy. We set boundaries, and we also design pre-course, midterm, and post-course surveys to get our students' feedback about our course. The fifth way to make participation as straightforward as possible. Why I'm saying that? Because simplicity and clarity are two of the most significant gifts you can provide as a community leader. Lay out a clear guideline for communication and operations so that members know how to interact with the group. It also makes your life easier. You can point to them when facing tricky moderation scenarios. For example, in the online class, during group work, we explicitly tell our students what we expect them to do. We define roles, decide ground rules for the class, like be present and listen carefully and ask questions respectfully. Number two, have a clear onboarding process in place with an initial call to action, like giving an intro or looking into game-changing resources so that they don't feel overwhelmed. For example, in class, we usually start with light questions as icebreakers. Number three, you can also implement an offboarding process like a message of gratitude with instructions for potentially rejoining in the future. The sixth way to deliver the ultimate values, which is human connection. So invite members to connect in real life by facilitating video calls, hosting meetups, and encouraging coffee dates. You can connect members to opportunities, new friends, and professional contacts you in the outside world to show that your community's value extends far beyond the online platform. The whole point of a community is connection. Serve, serve your community by making these connections as easy and impactful as possible. Create a database so members can search for and reach out to each other. Sarah Dahan says that. The seventh way is to love your online community. Do regular check-ins with yourself about how you are feeling. Brainstorm techniques for finding your way back to a loving, generous, humble mindset in more challenging times, says Sarah Dehan. For example, in an online class, we keep a few meditation sections and discuss self-care strategies to maintain our students' well-being. So the key takeaways are, we need to build an online community to support each other's physical and mental well-being. Though there are many challenges around building a community, one benefit of having an online community is reaching out to a broader audience. There are 4 steps to build our online community. There are 7 ways to nurture our online community. You can apply many of our offline community maintaining principles, but must be creative to convert the strategies to develop an online community. For that, you need to choose the right technological tools and platforms. Here are some resources if you want to learn more about the community and the online community. And thank you for your patience.